I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey Patriot Warrior fam, I'm Face, and these are the histories that America forgot. According to Wikipedia, quote, the Battle of Medina was fought approximately 20 miles south of San Antonio de Bejar, modern-day downtown San Antonio in the U.S. state of Texas, on August 18, 1813, as part of the Mexican War of Independence against Spanish authority in Mexico. Spanish troops led by General José Joaquín de Arredondo defeated Republican forces calling themselves the Republican Army of the North, consisting of Tejano-Mexican and Tejano-American revolutionaries, participating in the Gutiérrez-Magui expedition under General José Álvarez de Toledo y Dubois. It was the deadliest battle in Texas history. Bernardo Gutiérrez de Lara took up the effort to free Texas from Spain. Colonel Gutierrez visited Washington, D.C., gaining some support for his plans. In 1812, Colonel Augustus McGee, who as a lieutenant had commanded U.S. Army troops guarding the border of the neutral ground in Spanish Texas, resigned his commission and formed the Republican Army of the North to aid the Gutierrez-McGee expedition. The Army flew a solid emerald green flag, thought to have been introduced by Colonel McGee, who was of Scots-Irish descent. Nacogdoches was taken on August 12, 1812, with little opposition, and on November 7, 1812, the Republican Army of the North marched into what is present-day Goliad, where they took the Presidio La Bahia. The Spanish army soon confronted them, beginning a 4-month siege. While at La Bahia, however, Colonel McGee died February 6, 1813. After numerous battles and heavy losses, the Spanish lifted the siege and returned to San Antonio de Bejar. On March 25, 1813, the Republican Army of the North left La Bahia for Bejar after receiving reinforcements. Colonel Samuel Kemper, brother of Reuben Kemper, another soldier very familiar with filibustering, replaced McGee, and Lieutenant Colonel Reuben Ross was elected to second in command. There were approximately 1,400 Texians in Lara's Republican Army at the time, composed of Tejanos, Americans, Euro-Mexicans, former Spanish Royalist soldiers aided by an auxiliary force of Indians, and at least one black slave. The army, being led by General Toledo, had camped on the north bank of the Medina River, about 6 miles north of Arredondo's 1,800 Royalist troops that were encamped near present-day Lemming, Texas. The battle lasted for 4 hours. Toledo's plan called for an ambush on the Royalist troops as they marched through a defile on Bejar-Laredo Road. Similarly, Arredondo had sent out a scouting party with some cavalry in the morning to try to determine the location of Toledo's troops. Quite accidentally, they happened upon the Republican ambush and retreated after a brief exchange of fire. The Republican soldiers gave chase and apparently mistook the cavalry, which kicked up large clouds of dust, for the main army. It is believed that Toledo tried in vain to stop his troops from advancing. In their pursuit, they were slowed down by the sandy terrain. The guns that dragged with them became deeply mired. When they had reached the Spanish lines, they were too tired and thirsty. However, they managed to rout some Spanish artillery units and were attempting a flanking maneuver when they were repulsed by Spanish cavalry units. The situation had been less than clear for Arredondo, who was prepared to order his troops to fall back when he seems to have been informed by a defector that the Republican troops were also attempting to disengage because of exhaustion. He then ordered an advance instead. The Republicans fled in disorder. Toledo and a few of his associates headed straight for Louisiana. Some of the combatants stopped in San Antonio just long enough to gather their families. The Spanish army continued to press, killing many of the fleeing soldiers. Most of the remainder were captured, and a portent of future Texas War of Independence were summarily executed. Fewer than 100 out of 1,400 soldiers on the Republican side survived, and the Royalists lost only 55 men. The remains of the Republican troops were left to rot and were not buried until 1822, when José Félix Tres Palacios, the first governor of Coahuila y Texas, under the new established United Mexican States, ordered a detachment of soldiers to gather their bones and bury them honorably under an oak tree that grew on the battlefield. Some of the Gutierrez Magee participants either were sons of the American Revolutionaries or had fought with Andrew Jackson in the War of 1812. And of the few who survived, some fought again during the Second Texas Revolution in 1835-36. José Antonio Navarro, a founding father of Texas, and José Francisco Ruiz, both future signers of the 1836 Texas Declaration of Independence, took part in the 1812 to 1813 Magee, Gutierrez, and Toledo resistance movements, and later served as leaders in the Texas Revolution. One of the dead, Peter Sides, was a veteran of the American Revolution. Sides, originally Seats, was about 62 when he marched off from his home in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with Magee and other revolutionaries. A native of North Carolina, of German ancestry, Sides was a career soldier who fought in the 1st Militia at Nashboro and in Logan County, Kentucky, before he and his family relocated to Baton Rouge in 1799. Markers from the Daughters of the American Revolution and the Daughters of the Republic of Texas have been placed on the battle site in Sides' honor. Nearly all of the names of the other 1,300 or so dead from the Republic Army of the North have been lost to history. Of a very interesting note is a young lieutenant, Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna, who fought in the bloody battle and followed his superior's orders of taking no prisoners. That heavily influenced how he would fight wars for the rest of his life, most infamously during the Texas Revolution at the Alamo and Goliad. The location of the Battle of Medina has not been archaeologically determined. There are 3 historical markers for the battle. The first marker was placed by the state of Texas for the 1936 Texas Centennial at the southeast corner of U.S. Route 281 and Farm to Market Road 2537 in Bejar County. The second marker was placed by the state of Texas in 2005 at the corner of Old Applewhite Road and Bruce Road in Atascosa County. The third marker was placed by Robert P. Marshall in 2013 on Old Pleasanton Road, south of the intersection with Bruce Road. This marker is based on his own research and not recognized by the state.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Or will you fucking fight back? You ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking. Nah, I don't wanna hear it anymore, I don't wanna hear it anymore. All these fucking thoughts, they are not what I need anymore. I'm about to shut the motherfucking door on all you poor ass haters with your heads in the clouds, talking out loud so proud. You better shut your goddamn mouth before I do more speak out. It's about to head south. You're never gonna make it. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you could fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Are you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?